What up? What is going on, guys? It's Nick here, back at you with another video. Second one of this year, and it's going to be the first mock draft we're doing. I love doing these mock drafts and just seeing, it's pretty early right now, but just seeing how my team could be panning out using different strategies. With this one, I went more conventional draft. Usually I like to do that 0 RB strategy, but it just did not work. I tried this one at the 4 spot. I've been making plenty of videos, all different spots every single video, but this one's at 4. So I don't know at the top here, Todd Gurley #1, but whatever. I'm just going to roll with whatever the computer simulates. And I believe it's based off of ESPN standard draft positions. At the moment, I haven't done any mock drafts. I don't even know if there are lobbies going on right now, but I just used a simulator site. So my first pick was Odell, 4th overall. Love that pick. I have him ranked 2nd this year, only behind Antonio Brown, who I've ranked #1, obviously. So I love that pick. Next round, I usually like to do 0 RB, or at least a variation of it. So maybe only getting the first 3 rounds drafting a wide receiver. But I decided to do a running back here because I love LeSean McCoy this year, and there really weren't any wide receivers. I would have had to reach on like Mike Evans. I really didn't like at that spot. I like him basically where he went. I was hoping he followed me in the 3rd round. But other than that, there was really no one I was considering. I would have rather had Doug Martin, I think, but I'm really not sure. Watkins is going to be hurt a little this year, and they love to run the ball. And he's a good catcher. He's a good running back. Great situation for him to be in. So I love McCoy this year. Glad to take him as my RB1 in the late 2nd round. And again, it's a 12-team league, so that pick would have actually been in the 3rd round in a 10-team league. And I guess I should say this draft was with, you get 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a flex spot where you can put anyone basically but a quarterback, and then a wide receiver / running back spot. That's what I'm going to do all these mock drafts in. It's just the leagues I like to be in. But 3rd round, Amari Cooper, I think he's going to be great this year. I was definitely contemplating taking Rawls. You see he went 1 pick after. But I don't like taking a bunch of wide receivers early. Even taking that one LeSean McCoy, I just never do it. If you want to see more, watch the RB0 strategy video I have, by far my most popular video. And it just makes sense to me. Wide receivers generally pan out. They don't get passed. When you're #1, like Amari Cooper is not going to get passed as a #1 unless he gets hurt. And they get hurt less. Running backs always get passed. Guys coming up from the back, I mean, they get injured so much more, and their bodies break down. So, but enough about that. I'll be talking about that more. Next 3 picks were wide receivers. So I picked Amari Cooper. 4th round, I went Macklin. He did great last year. And I know he is probably one of the higher injury-prone wide receivers, but there's really no one that's going to challenge him for that spot. It's an up-and-coming offense. I think if they get the run game a little better, because last year they didn't have Charles, I believe that he can have just as good as a year last year, which is great for my #3 wide receiver. Next, Landry. I think his production is going to go down. I got him in the 5th round. He's not getting as many catches because I think Devontae Parker learning the system a little more. But he's still a great wide receiver. You watch him play, he's a great player. So I'm very fine having him on my team in that flex spot. Next is Amir Abdullah. I think he's probably going to get maybe 15, 16, 17, around that range touches per game, not runs or rushes. So maybe he'll get like 12 rushes, 5 catches, something there. Which is okay. I mean, I'm fine with having my #2 running back not be that great. It's just fine. Like, I don't really care that much. I'm going to get such good production from my wide receivers. Doesn't really need to be there. And I'm going to be taking shots late in the draft with running backs. And basically going to be scouting the waiver wire for running backs the entire year and not wide receivers. So if one pops up, there goes Abdullah. But he does have a lot of upside. And he's got a lot more potential than some of the other backs that you could be getting at this position. So really, I'm perfectly fine with that pick. All right, next pick is Ladarius Green. I like taking tight ends later. I don't like reaching on anyone. And honestly, if you look at this kid, he's a freak athlete. He's huge. He's fast. He can catch. So with Heath Miller gone, he should be good in a very, very good offense. So I'm really liking him this year. But obviously, I want to see how he does in training camp and in preseason and everything, what the reports are saying. But right now, if for some reason you are drafting right now, I'm not sure why you would. But I really like him. Maybe more like 8th, 9th round. I probably reached on him, but I'd already filled up all my spots there, so I would have basically been taking someone for the bench, which is what I did for the next guy, Wheaton. Love him this year. There was a lot coming out of training camp last year that he was doing really well. I want to see what they're talking about this year. But he had some great games at the end of last year, and that was with Martavis Bryant being there, and he's not going to be there. He's suspended for the whole year. He's going to be the number 2. I don't think anyone's going to pass him. In the offense that they have, I mean, that's a fantastic pick. In the 8th round as my 5th wide receiver, it doesn't even matter if he's not good. I really do think he's going to be great this year. So a great pick there. 9, Eli Manning. I think he's going to have another good year. He's good every year, and no one values him high. If you can get him in like the 10th round, 9th, 10th round, somewhere around there, that's a pretty good pick. I like waiting on quarterbacks. I generally would like actually waiting probably till like the 11th, maybe going 11th, 12th, just grabbing 2 guys out there. Because every year, I'm going to be talking about it in an upcoming video. There's always free agent quarterbacks. Last year, I picked up Bortles. He ended up being like 5th. The year before, I picked up Roethlisberger. He ended up being top 5. You can always just pick a couple scrubs at the end of the draft, wait, see what teams are hot at the beginning of the year, and then just grab the quarterback. Because every year, there's guys on free agency. But I picked Manning there, and now we move to the later rounds. So this will be rounds 10 through 14. And these are the lottery picks. These are the guys, it literally doesn't matter if you drop them in week 2. Maybe your defensive team. And for defense, I'll be talking about that actually in a second. Yeah, I'll go there in a second. Round 10, lottery pick, Tevin Coleman. This offense uses the running back very well. And Devonta Freeman gets hurt sometimes. And he's a good running back if you watch him play. He's better than Coleman, but I haven't seen Coleman this year. Maybe he was supposed to be the guy last year, so he has potential. If he's the number 1 guy and you got him in round 10, you're golden for an RB1, RB2 every single week. So these are the guys that are 1 injury away from just helping your season out tremendously. I think he's a great pick in 10. 11th round, D'Angelo Williams. Let's be honest, Le'Veon Bell is one of the highest injury risk running backs. And when he's hurt, we saw last year D'Angelo Williams is an RB1. So if I can hold on to that, obviously if you have Bell, I mean, you need to take Williams like the 9th round. You cannot let anyone else have him. You have to have him on your bench. Maybe the guy didn't realize that and I grabbed him, and I can swing a trade for someone he got in like the 8th or 9th round because he's scared if he loses Bell, he's done. I mean, he lost his number 1 pick for the year. I've got a number 1 guy. It's just great. It's great. He's a great pick. I mean, he's always a great pick unless you reach. And if you're going to be reaching, you're the owner that has Bell, and you have to. 12, I picked Rivers. I just like having 2 quarterbacks to start the year, and then generally I pick the better one in maybe week 2 and just drop the other guy. Because you don't need to have 2 on your roster at all. Anyone that tells you that, they're an idiot. You don't need to have 2. Maybe if you're in like a 20-team league, but no one's ever in that. So I always have 1. I'm just going to see who starts the year. I mean, 1 year Rivers started off. They were talking about him being MVP through the first like half of the year. That'd be nice to ride that streak. All right, so I just picked him and Eli. Whichever one does better, that's the one I'm starting. I'm going to drop the other. So if I can get that in the 12th round, good value for me. Next guy, Mohamed Sanu. People don't realize he's the number 2 now. I mean, Roddy White's old. Is he even? I don't even know if he's playing anymore, if we're going to be completely honest. I should probably check on that. But he's going to be the number 2 guy. If Julio gets hurt, you have a number 1 receiver on an offense or a team that's probably going to lose some games. He's going to get a bunch of garbage time looks. He's a fantastic. In the 13th round, he's definitely going to move up draft boards when we get closer to the season. You can get him in like the 11th. That is great. He's like my wide receiver 6 right now. So that's fantastic value. Last round is always reserved for your defense. Do not grab a defense anywhere but the 14th round. Because you know what? You're going to drop it. At some point, you're going to drop your defense. Don't take him unless it's the 14th round. I picked New England. You know what? I'm a Pats fan. I like having New England defense. Generally, when I have my drafts, they go early because we're all Pats fans. But, I mean, they are a good defense. They drafted another corner this year to go with Logan Ryan and Butler. Butler's a lockdown. Ryan's just a solid number 2, so they're going to have some good corners. Jamie Collins is a monster middle linebacker. Actually, he's not even in the middle. He's an outside. He's a monster linebacker just in general. They're going to have a good D-line. They got McCourty at safety, so they're a good defense to own, and they're good on special teams too. Also, the guy they drafted is going to be the new punt returner, So they're a good defense to pick up, but you know what? Don't reach on anyone. 14th round, just look who's playing, like, I don't know. Pick a bet. Pick the Raiders. Who's playing the Raiders? Play their defense. And just look for bad offenses in the 14th round. Whoever they're playing in weeks 1, 2, 3, look for someone. Generally just look at week 1 and just play that defense. Because I stream defenses almost every week anyways, so it's not worth grabbing a guy in before the 14th round. So that's the end of this mock draft. I'll be putting out mock drafts probably once a week, once every 2 weeks, a lot more when the season starts. But it's going to be from every position. This week's from the 4 position, and I'm probably going to be rating which position you want for guys that do in-person drafts, and maybe there's like a lottery system where you get to pick. So far, I do not like the 4th pick. I just don't. For my draft strategy, it just doesn't work this year, it looks like. But again, a lot of things are going to be changing. We're going to find new things about players. I just don't like the 4th pick. I'm really not sure what pick I'm going to like. I guess throughout the drafts, I'll be telling you guys which ones are the better spots to be in. But right now, 4th is a no-go. So if you watch this far in the video, you at least somewhat liked it, drop a like, helps me out. Leave a comment on what you think maybe you would have done differently in the draft. Helps me out, helps you out. We can talk about it. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.